When Emma told me she didn't want to come to Christmas at my mother's house, I thought she was just tired or stressed. We'd been married for 8 years, and like any couple, we had our ups and downs. But her tone that evening was different, cold, sharp, and final. "I'm done pretending to like your mom," she said, setting down her glass of wine. "Don't ask me to Christmas." I tried to laugh it off, thinking she'd change her mind later, but deep down, something felt off. My mother and Emma never got along perfectly, but it was never this bad. Mom could be blunt at times, but she genuinely cared about Emma, often sending her gifts or asking about her job. Lately though, Emma had started skipping family dinners, saying she had work or wasn't feeling well. I didn't question it much. I trusted her. I thought she just needed space. A week before Christmas, I decided to go shopping for gifts. I wanted to surprise Emma with something thoughtful, so I stopped by her favorite jewelry store. While there, the clerk smiled and said, "Oh, you're back again. Did she like the bracelet?" I frowned. "What bracelet?" The clerk hesitated, realizing her mistake. "The one your wife bought last week. For a man named Ryan." "I assumed it was for you." The name hit me like a punch to the chest. Ryan was her coworker, someone she often mentioned casually. I tried not to jump to conclusions, but the unease spread quickly. That night, I asked her about it. She laughed and said, "It was a secret Santa gift. Don't overthink." But her eyes didn't match her smile. Over the next few days, I began noticing changes. She kept her phone face down, took long walks alone after dinner, and suddenly cared about how she looked before work meetings. My gut told me something wasn't right. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her phone while she was showering. What I found shattered me. There were messages between her and Ryan. They weren't just friendly. They were intimate, secretive, and full of little lies about me. She had even texted him, "Finally, I don't have to spend Christmas pretending with his family. Can't wait to be with you instead." My hands trembled as I read those words. The woman I thought I knew was gone. I didn't confront her immediately. I wanted to see how far she would go. On Christmas Eve, I told her I'd be leaving early to help Mom with preparations. She smiled in relief, too easily. I drove off, parked a few streets away, and waited. An hour later, she left the house, dressed up, carrying a wrapped box. I followed her car quietly. She drove across town and stopped at a restaurant. Ryan was already there, waiting for her with a grin. Watching them laugh together felt like someone was twisting a knife in my chest. She kissed him across the table, the same way she used to kiss me. My first instinct was to burst in and confront them, but instead, I took out my phone and recorded it. I needed the truth, not just for me but for peace of mind. When she came home later that night, she acted normal, asking if Mom was happy to see me. I looked at her and simply said, "Yeah, she was. But she'll be happier when she learns the truth." Her smile faded instantly. I placed my phone on the table and played the video. Silence filled the room, except for the sound of her voice and laughter from the recording. She tried to deny it at first, saying it was a mistake, that she felt lonely. But her excuses sounded hollow. I told her she didn't just betray me, she disrespected everything we built, and even used my mother as an excuse to hide her lies. She began crying, begging me to forgive her, but my heart had already broken beyond repair. The next morning, I packed a small bag and left. I didn't yell, didn't argue, just walked away. My mother didn't ask many questions when I showed up alone for Christmas, but she hugged me tighter than usual. Somehow, she must have sensed everything without needing words. Days later, I received a message from Emma saying she regretted everything and that Ryan wasn't who she thought he was. Apparently, he'd stopped answering her calls right after she got caught. I didn't reply. Some lessons are learned too late, and some wounds never close. Months have passed since that Christmas, and while the pain still lingers, I've learned something valuable. Love built on lies can't last. Pretending, whether it's about family or faithfulness, always ends in truth. And that truth, though painful, finally set me free.